Vice President Kamala Harris still has not traveled to the southern border 82 days after being asked to manage the situation down there that has gotten completely out of control over the last 4.5 months. And joining us this morning to talk all about that is Texas Congressman Brian Babin. Congressman, good morning. Nice to see you again.
Great to see you, Rob.
Congressman, the numbers are now astounding. We are getting close to over 1 million illegal border crossings. It should happen by possibly the end of this month, if not early July. And the administration is doing next to nothing to try and solve this crisis. How bad is it right now?
It's very, very bad. I'm in contact with folks that are down there. I've been down there a couple of times, have plans to go this coming month as well, taking my colleagues back on trips. I'm the Border Security Caucus co-chair. It is a problem of a magnitude that the average American just doesn't know. If it wasn't for news outlets like you, very few people would know what's going on. But thank goodness we have an informed, at least a segment of our population that knows that this is an out-of-control, chaotic disaster for national. The implications for national security are very, very bad.
Congressman, I want to ask you quickly
about. I can tell you that there are more and more coming in every single day. The Biden administration is dispensing with just about all of the policies that the Trump administration came up with to control this border, and it's getting worse instead of better. And I don't think we're going to see it get better until the American people rise up at the polls or put so much pressure on this administration that they have absolutely no choice. They want open borders. That's all you can come up with. That's the only thing I can figure.
The governor of Texas says that he's going to go it on its own and on his own and try and build a wall along the massive Texas-Mexico border. He is approaching an election in 2022 himself. Do you think this is bluster, or do you think this is something that the people of Texas can figure out a way to do?
Well, I can tell you there's a lot of uproar all throughout the state of Texas, especially, though, on the border. And many of these border counties and cities are Democrat. We just had a new Republican mayor elected in the Rio Grande Valley. That's not a very usual thing to happen down there. People are getting tired of seeing the lawlessness, the chaos. Basically, the Biden administration has dispensed and suspended the rule of law at our border. Right. And it has such dire implications on national security, on terrorism, on crime, on our pandemic, public health, you name it. And they've suspended the construction of the border wall. And so I am very happy to see our governor, Governor Abbott, to come out with these types of announcements. I certainly hope that it is sincere. I think it is. We shall see. We want to see unfortunately, we're in the minority on the Republican side. We cannot seem to get anything done on this border. And so it's absolutely imperative for us, the sovereign states on the border, to take the law into their own hands. And by that, I mean it's constitutional. The Constitution says that they have the right to protect themselves in an invasion. And if the federal government is not protecting its own citizens down there in these states like Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and California, then these states have to take the bit in their mouth and do it themselves.
Congressman, let me ask you about the vice president, who one day could be the president of this country. 82 days, that's how long it's been. It's laughable at this point. But a Univision reporter was given access to the vice president and asked her very simply, when do you think you'll travel to our southern border? This was her reaction. Take a listen.
I've said I'm going to go to the border. And
when are you going to the border, Vice President?
The administration has asked. I'm not finished. I've said I'm going to the border. And also, if we are going to deal with the problems at the border, we have to deal with the problems that cause people to go to the border.
That's presidential timber right there, sir, isn't it?
I tell you, we are not in good hands in this administration. It's very, very scary to see this. This lady has absolutely no inclination to go to the border. She's uncomfortable with the subject. I don't think she really appreciated President Biden giving her this role as the czar of border security. And quite frankly, I just don't think she's prepared for this. And it's very, very unnerving, I think, for many Americans to see this happening.
It's just shocking.
And look, the wokeism, the hard left culture changes, that cancel culture that we see this administration and the radical wing of this party, which is actually the wing of the party that's making most of these progressive moves,
right,
is very scary to Americans. And I'll tell you, I read just the other day, in fact, last night, a defected student from North Korea going to an American university, and astounded that she escaped from communism and socialism. And she says, even in North Korea, we weren't this nuts.
It's just
and
shocking.
She's talking about the woke culture of American academia.
It's totally
very
shocking.
sad.
I saw that very same report, sir. I do want to bring this up quickly. House Republicans introduced a resolution to censure and condemn Ilhan Omar, a member of the squad, after she posted this tweet just the other day saying we must have the same level of accountability and justice for all victims of crimes against humanity. We have seen unthinkable atrocities committed by the U.S., Hamas, Israel, Afghanistan, and the Taliban. Keywords, Taliban and Hamas in that tweet, comparing Afghanistan to Israel and the U.S. Doesn't get much more offensive to that. If she is not ripped from her committees, if she is not punished in some way, Congressman, there will be no accountability if this is allowed to continue to happen.
There is no accountability for Democrats who do things much more egregious than any Republican has ever done. And Republicans, as you know, have been removed from their committees for saying things even before they were elected. And there seems to be no accountability for the squad or for members of the Democratic Party that say the most outrageous anti-American, anti-Israel, anti-American allies, our values, and just, again, the woke culture, the hard left, the socialism, and quite frankly, a lot of them seem to be bent on communism. And when you have someone from North Korea or someone that has escaped from Venezuela coming up here and saying, how can you people in America stand for this type of thing? Because you're headed in a direction which is very, very scary, from which I just escaped from. And I hope the American people wake up, because at the midterms next year, we've got to retake this House and the Senate and hold the line against this administration. It's obviously bent on destroying the great democratic republic that we love for 244 years.
I'm with you. We appreciate all your time this morning. That is Texas Congressman Brian Babin joining us. Congressman, nice to see you. Thank you.
Yes, sir, Rob. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.